Assessing the Patriots offense. My name is Mike Petralia, joined inside Gillette Stadium by Evan Lazar and Alex Barth. This Patriots postgame report brought to you by 1-in-100. Go to 1in100.co now and register for your chance to win in a raffle killer Pats, Bruins, and Celtics tickets for the cost of a large beer or a pizza. That's 1in100.co. Go there and register today. All right, there was a lot of good for the Patriots in this 24-10 win offensively, but let's get to what maybe concerns some Patriot fans. Rob Gronkowski maybe had one of the worst games we've seen from him all around. He missed a block on the Vikings blowing up a third down trick play run to James White, right?
Yes.
He also had a couple of holding calls, a false start on the very first offensive snap of the game. It was a rough day for Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah, I kind of expected this to be tough sledding for Gronk because this Vikings defense has a guy named Harrison Smith who's pretty darn good at covering tight ends, and they also have a bunch of fast linebackers that are pretty good at covering tight ends too. Eric Kendricks, Anthony Barr. Those are some really athletic players. But overall, it was the mental stuff that I thought that was, a little bit troubling from Gronk. Allowing a block on a direct snap on a sweep play like that, the one thing you can't do is allow the guy outside of you, right? You can blow it inside because James White might be able to have the speed to get around you, but if you blow it outside, that blows up the whole play, and that's exactly what happened. The holding penalty, the false start early, that coupled with the fact that he didn't create a ton of separation in the passing game, and really I'll look at the tape and maybe he was attracting bodies, multiple guys in coverage, and that might have been something that we can be positive about, but overall it was not one of his best games.
Okay, the biggest play of the day for Gronk was the 15-yard reception over the middle. He takes a helmet right to the thigh. He was slow to get up and kind of limped a little bit to the sideline. He did return to the game, and so that there is that. He's presumably nicked up a little bit, but healthy enough. But the fact that he was able to fight through all of that and come up with that key reception right before the Josh Gordon 24-yard touchdown, Alex, that was pretty big.
Yeah, and we talked about this after the Jets game in saying that, he wasn't his old self the whole game. But if you can get him in spurts like that, it may be enough to carry this team when you have guys like Josh Gordon stepping up, when you have a guy like Cordero Patterson playing as well as he did tonight. Chris Hogan had a couple of big catches. They may only need Gronk to be Gronk for those key plays. So you see that, it's an encouraging sign. But if he's doing that, that's okay. But you can't have the holdings and you can't have the false starts and the missed blocks. The other plays have to be neutral. They can't be negative. It was nice to see that little blip because I think there's a lot more panic if he doesn't make that catch. And that was a tough catch.
All right, let's talk about Josh Gordon because right now, the fact that he could not be targeted at all in the first half and stay in the game mentally, and Belichick was asked about this after the game, and he said all of our players, we anticipate they're all going to stay in the game mentally. But with Josh Gordon, there's baggage, right? I mean, he has a history of, if he's not involved in the game plan, maybe his focus there in the second half with the Cleveland Browns might not have been there. But these are the Patriots, and in the second half, he really stepped forward.
Yeah, I thought that I kind of think, and I know that Belichick or Josh McDaniels is not going to admit to this, but they pulled the old bait and switch on Minnesota. I really felt the first half, bunch of screen passes, bunch of throws into the flat, short passes, short pass, short pass. Second half, let's open it up with Josh Gordon. My guess is that Josh Gordon knew that that was the game plan, so that's why he came out rearing for the second half to get started, and then Minnesota kind of fell asleep at the Josh Gordon wheel, didn't think that he was going to get the ball.
Hard to believe,
then all of a sudden, they're throwing it to him, and he's getting some single coverage. He drew a PI. He caught the touchdown, obviously, a couple of the other big catches. He's getting one-on-ones on the outside, and the Patriots are going to him. And all of a sudden, if you're Mike Zimmer, you don't have halftime to adjust and say, okay, they're really going to Josh Gordon. This is too late for that now. And the players kind of have to adjust on the fly, and they weren't able to do it.
What really was encouraging to me, if I'm a Patriots fan, is their mentality. When they were effective today, it was there was a element of a power running game. Sony Michel, James White, and obviously James Devlin, a big impact close to the goal line. Is James Devlin going to run for 100 yards? Obviously not. But you need a guy when the field becomes compressed, and Belichick and Josh McDaniels have always talked about this, you have to be able to run inside the 10-yard line, inside the goal-to-go distance, and James Devlin here on Sunday night was able to give them that.